The Windmills of Your Mind, our new single that was released from Player A. It's my jazz group that's been around quite a while. We've put quite a bit of stuff out through the years, including a remix album and a cool remix of Staying Alive. So we have a history of doing some covers. And so The Windmill of Your Mind is also a cover. Sting redid it a few years back. I fell in love with the sound of it, and when I decided to make my version, I kind of used that. And I want to talk a little bit about how I produced it. The very first thing I did was I found a version on YouTube of the Sting version that we were just talking about. And I downloaded it and I imported it, okay, into Logic. And then what I did was I used the stem splitter, and I only took the vocal and the drum loop. I wasn't interested in any other part. It was just Sting's vocals and the drums. And the reason I was going to want Sting's vocals is because I was going to replace those vocals with a singer who sounds a lot like Sting. And if you go listen to the song, and you should go down into the description and listen to the song. I kind of put it into my tempo. I changed the tempo a little bit. Then I had a drum loop and Sting singing, okay? And what I did to that was I put a little shaker to it, just a little shaker beat to it. And then, this is kind of funny, the stand-up bass is sharp. Well, guess what, my friends, my peeps? The stand-up bass is Trillion total bass module. And that is Eric Copeland playing upright bass. So I do this a lot on my jazz things. What I will do is I will get a beat going, and then I will play the upright bass to whatever I'm doing. And then I will send it to drums. And then down here you can see the drums from Brian Fullen, who did the drums. And then he sends me back all the drums. And he got to play drums with Sting singing because we are using the Sting stem. And then I sent it to a piano player, and I sent him an email. I said, would you like to play with Sting? And I sent him an email with the drums and the upright bass and the shaker, but I kept the Sting vocal in so that the piano player could be playing piano, jazz piano, to Sting. And you're probably saying, Eric, I thought you were a piano player. Why aren't you doing the piano? Well, the reason I'm not doing the piano is because it's very jazzy. It's like a kind of jazz that I don't necessarily play. I have my own version of jazz the way I play, you know how you are. It's like if you could play guitar, it doesn't necessarily mean you could play guitar like all your guitar heroes in every genre. And in jazz, even though I play jazz piano, I don't play like this. And I wanted that kind of jazz trio feel for this. So I did the upright bass instead, which kind of and wrote out the chart. Boy, if you could see that chart, it is something, I'm telling you. This song is crazy with all the chord changes. And so then I got the piano, and then at that point we were done with Sting, and we muted Sting. Yes, I muted Sting, and then sent that to the vocalist, who sussed that out. He worked really hard to get it similar but yet unique to his own style, and did the vocal. And then we were ready for mix. And the mix I sent out to a friend of mine, Ronnie Brookshire, who is one of my great engineers in Nashville. While I could have done the mix, and often do mix a lot of things that I am going to send out to sync or jazz things, I also enjoy and prefer most times handing the mix off. I am a producer, and before that I am a composer and arranger before I am a mixing engineer. And so I know that Ronnie has worked for me before on some of these things. So I sent it to Nashville to an engineer to mix, and then he gave me a mix that was not mastered, so I did the mastering of myself with my own mastering tools, and voila, I have the production done. And that's basically the way I produced it. So starting with bringing the song down, the version that I liked, I brought it down from YouTube. I put it into Logic. I want to make very clear here that I did not use anything from that. I'm only using that as a reference, as a guide. And so I stem split it so that I could get the vocals by themselves and I could get the drums by themselves. And then I added some percussion in, and then I could play the bass and get it ready to send to drums, and then get it ready to send to piano, and then get it ready to send to vocals. and then get it ready to send a mix. And so that was kind of the way it went. Love the Fishing Rod says, are you discovering new methods as you create music? Of course. We're all discovering new methods of production all the time. And I think stem splitting is something I'm using way more than I thought I would. I use a lot of times when people send me demos, clients, and they don't know how to do a vocal by itself and give me a scratch vocal. Well, it's okay because they can just sing along with their phone, and I can then get that recording, put it in Stem Splitter, and get their vocal out of it, and I have a scratch vocal, just like that. I also use AI vocal programs to sing a song, put it into a girl's voice, and then use that as a scratch vocal when we are working on the track. So many uses.